This is CBC Here and Now.
I'm Anthony Germain, live here at the Wedgwood Cafe on Elizabeth Avenue in St. John's, where chefs have come together in support of the family of 9-year-old Nevaeh Denine. We're going to have coverage throughout tonight, but it's really about this remarkable person who in a short life managed to raise more than $200,000 for other children who, like her, were battling cancer. And the focus is on her family tonight and getting them through some tough times. Details coming up throughout Here and Now. Here's Carolyn now with a look at today's top news stories.
Thanks, Anthony. I'm Carolyn Stokes, and here's what else is making news tonight.
MHA Colin Holloway believes there's still a place for him inside the Liberal Party, despite the fact his harassment allegations were dismissed last week. I'm Terry Roberts. We'll have that story tonight on Here and Now.
They give us skirts to wear. We're like, skirts? How are we supposed to do police work in skirts?
She's the longest serving woman in the RNC, and this week, Sergeant Sandy Harvey hangs up her hat. Let's get right to our top story, the harassment scandal at the House of Assembly. One politician is disappointed and dissatisfied with the investigation into his complaints of harassment and intimidation by fellow politicians. But tonight, Colin Holloway says he's not giving up his fight for justice. Our Terry Roberts spoke with the MHA for Terra Nova today. So Terry, what's the latest?
Well, Colin Holloway's allegations were very serious. He says he was bullied and harassed by former Liberal cabinet ministers Eddie Joyce and Dale Kirby. But as we reported last night, the Commissioner for Legislative Standards has essentially dismissed Holloway's complaints. And Holloway is not pleased with the outcome.
I got to say I was completely surprised with the findings.
Holloway says the reports lacked what he calls procedural fairness, omitted what he believes were important details, and even reached incorrect conclusions.
It has the potential for leading people down a different path.
In his first interview since receiving the reports on Friday, Holloway criticized the entire process, saying he never had faith in the Commissioner's office to carry out such an investigation.
I didn't think he had the experience, or the office had the experience.
So Holloway has hired a lawyer. He plans to bring his concerns to the House of Assembly this fall, sticking by his belief that he was mistreated by Joyce and Kirby during internal party debates over issues like the MHA pension plan and the selection process for Speaker of the House of Assembly.
The Commissioner in his reports talks about this is normal way of how politicians interact. I can't believe that that should be acceptable behavior in a workplace.
In the meantime, Holloway says people have approached him and said his actions have helped change the culture in their workplace. He takes some comfort in that, but admits it's been a stressful time.
The consequences and the challenges and the difficulty that has resulted because of this, you have to really question. You know, if there is no change that happens, then you really have to question, should you have done it in the beginning?
Last spring, the Liberal caucus was in turmoil, infighting spilling into the media.
This is bullying and intimidation at its finest.
Holloway and others complaining about a hostile work environment, climaxing with Joyce and Kirby stripped of their cabinet post and ejected from the Liberal Party. There are more investigations to come, and Holloway believes their findings will support his claims of misconduct.
It's about a culture, and it's about the behavior of these two individuals, not only against me, but also against other members in the House of Assembly. So it's about a pattern of behavior.
It's unclear whether Joyce and Kirby will be welcomed back into the fold, but Holloway believes the Liberals are better off without them.
I think that we've had change since both Mr. Joyce and Mr. Kirby came out of caucus. I find that people are more at ease, people are a bit more jovial. I guess people are under a little less pressure.
Now, while Holloway admits it's been a hard time, he says he won't leave politics or the Liberal Party. He says he has the full support of his family and most of his constituents and will be a candidate in next year's general election. Now, as for Dale Kirby and Eddie Joyce, they're not talking to the CBC. Carolyn?
Thanks, Terry. That's Here and Now's Terry Roberts reporting live tonight. Well, staying with politics, the provincial New Democrats are having their nomination meeting tonight. The party will vote to decide who will run in the Windsor Lake by-election. It's between two candidates. Carrie Claire Neal is a social economist and feminist. Matt House previously ran for the party and owns a bookstore in downtown St. John's. And whoever wins will go up against Liberal Paul Antle and Progressive Conservative leader Ches Crosby. The by-election is set for September 20th. Well, a warning for those residents of the west end of St. John's who get their water from Petty Harbour Long Pond. It might be discolored. The city says it's caused by high levels of manganese and should not be consumed. No word yet on how long it will be before the issue is resolved. In the meantime, free water will be available at the municipal depot on Blackler Avenue tomorrow, though you'll have to bring your own container. For those with clear running water, the city says you have nothing to worry about. Well, have you checked the registration stickers on your vehicle lately? If you were counting on government to remind you about renewing them, you are out of luck. Those mail-outs were canned in last year's budget, and the fact that drivers weren't warned about the mail-out cancellation, well, that's turning out to be a problem for some people. Here and Now's Ryan Brockerville has that story.
As of April 30th, motor registration discontinued the long-standing tradition of mail-out reminders for drivers to renew their vehicle registration. The only reminder you get now? One via email, but you have to sign up for that. Otherwise, you're on your own, and that's not sitting well with some.
I'd always done my registration online and always done it when triggered by the reminder that was sent out by the government.
But without the government reminder, David Winter only checked his stickers after hearing a CBC story about someone being fined for having out-of-date registration. As for the email reminder system, Winter says he has no problem with that, but he could have used a heads up.
I think the government or motor registration should have sent out a notification to with the last registration notification for your renewal for your car with a letter in it saying this will be the last one of these that you receive. Here's what you got to do. You do it and take whatever actions you feel fit.
Motor registration says it did send reminders, but only to 50,000 drivers in its last mail-out in March. It says the move will save $460,000 a year.
You know, I'm all for the government trying to save money. I think if they communicate their changes to the people will accept their changes. There are going to be people in maybe remote areas who don't have access to computer, whose internet is bad or whatever it is, and they're going to be the people who are going to have to go to the office and remember the fact that that their stickers are about to expire.
So if you haven't checked your stickers yet, or you can't remember the last time you slapped on that new one, it might be time to check. Ryan Brockerville, CBC News, St. John's.
A local member of parliament is slamming a motion passed by the Conservative membership at their annual convention last weekend. Nick Whalen says he isn't surprised the motion to end birthright citizenship came from his home riding, but calls it racist. Here and Now's Ryan Cook has more.
Nick Whalen says he runs into people with hard stances on immigration every time he goes door knocking, so he wasn't totally surprised when the motion came from St. John's East, a motion that supports the end of granting citizenship to babies born in Canada to non-citizen parents.
So to single out people from other places being born in Canada about a problem that doesn't really exist is dog whistle politics. It's race baiting. It's trying to encourage people to be afraid or think that there's an issue where there isn't one.
Now, to give some context on this issue, there were more than 300,000 babies born in Canada in 2016, according to Stats Canada. Just over 300 were born to non-citizen mothers. This is an issue that's come up in Richmond, BC, where Liberal and Conservative politicians have spoken out in favor of ending so-called birth tourism, where pregnant women come to their city just to give birth so their children can get the perks of being Canadian. Whalen doesn't believe those numbers are significant enough to pose a big problem, but I spoke with Morley Witt a few moments ago, who is a member of the St. John South Conservative Association. He wasn't available to go on camera, but he says no matter how small that number is, it's a loophole that's worth closing, or at least worth talking about. Witt doesn't feel there are any racist motivations at hand here, and that people claiming racism are shutting down a worthy debate. How this issue came up as something worth talking about in St. John's remains a bit of a mystery, but Witt says he's glad it was raised by the associations here, more than 7,000 kilometers from Richmond, BC. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
A first-degree murder charge has been laid in the death of this man. 36-year-old John Bradley Healy was originally from Clarenville. His body was found on a dirt road in Fort McMurray this past June. The man accused of killing Healy is being held in custody until his court appearance next month. Healy was facing multiple drug trafficking charges and gun-related offenses at the time of his death. A homeowner in Corner Brook made a narrow escape this morning after his house caught fire. This duplex was filled with black smoke and flames when firefighters arrived around 2 a.m. The owner of the house was waiting for them on the front lawn. He'd escaped through his bedroom window and was taken to hospital and treated for minor injuries. The Corner Brook Fire Department believes the fire started in the kitchen and crews had it under control in just minutes, but much of the house has been destroyed by smoke and fire damage. A St. John's couple is dealing with their frustration about Muskrat Falls by setting up camp in front of Nalcor's headquarters. Matthew and Alicia DeLaval are ready to stay for a week or more to make their point. They say the energy project is a boondoggle that will push the province's most vulnerable into poverty. They created a list of 13 wide-ranging demands for the Energy Corporation, which includes more environmental protection at the site and for Nalcor to be overhauled. For its part, Nalcor says as long as the protest remains peaceful, the couple won't be asked to leave.
We deserve answers. We deserve to be told and be a part of this decision-making process, you know. And it's like I said, you know, we welcome anybody from Nalcor who to sit down with us and speak with us. We're here to be peaceful and to try and motivate some movement that'll actually be a benefit to people.
Tonight, people are honoring the memory of 9-year-old Nevaeh Denine. She's the little girl from Gould's who suffered for more than half of her life from neoblastoma. But all she wanted to do was pay forward the support she received to raise money for other children like her, children living with cancer. She held her first lemonade stand when she was just 4 years old. Over $20,000 went to 5 families who had children battling cancer. In 2015, as word of her annual fundraiser spread, thousands came out to support her cause.
Thank you for coming to my lemonade stand. We made $40,000 to help other boys and girls. So what I say? See you next year.
And from there, word of Nevaeh's lemonade stand spread throughout the province and the country. Even the Blue Jays' Jose Bautista sent words of encouragement.
Hi Nevaeh, it's John. I wanted to say happy birthday and congratulations on your lemonade stand again this year. I know you're not doing too well. I hear you're a fan of the Jays and I have a special friend who wants to say hello to you.
Hi Nevaeh, happy birthday. I hope you get better soon. Keep fighting and stay strong.
But tragically, Nevaeh died earlier this month at the age of 9. The outpouring of grief was palpable. Tributes poured in from people affected by her courage and generosity. Her passing was mourned, and Nevaeh's life was celebrated.
There was no limit to her, and she was fearless. To change your perspective on life, that's how I want her to be remembered. Like, take life for what it is and enjoy it to the fullest.
And tonight, her spirit of generosity lives on at the Wedgwood Cafe. That's where a group of chefs are holding a pop-up supper in support of Nevaeh's Denine family. Our Anthony Germain is there. So, Anthony, how's it going?
Well, the food is cooking outside the Wedgwood Cafe here in the parking lot where there are people for the, sort of the overflow area, and they're certainly cooking up a lot of food on the inside as well. We'll talk to some of the chefs later in the program, but I thought it might be a good idea to talk to two family friends who've been involved with Renea's movement and has helped the successful fundraising that Nevea was capable of achieving. So I'll start with Stephanie. Stephanie, what was it like actually being part of the lemonade fundraising in Nevea?
Well, we've been a part of it since the very first time that Nevea called and said, I want a lemonade stand. And we were like, oh, okay, yeah, what do you want? And she said, well, I want it to be like the biggest in the world. I was like, well, I don't know if it can be the biggest in the world, but we'll certainly do our best. And that first year in the Ghouls at St. Kevin's, we had a lineup of like 6,000 people waiting to get lemonade. And it was just phenomenal. And it's just grown every single year. And we plan for her legacy to live on for a very long time, and we have high expectations for this year's lemonades or next year's lemonade stand.
Well, in the lead into this interview, Carolyn Stokes was basically showing viewers some of the highlights of Nevea over the past few years as this thing turned such a huge success. What's your sense, Jessica, of the significance of her lemonade movement?
So it's been so incredible, and like Nevea has left an outstanding legacy that, you know, but with that being said, like it's been 4 years, 4 lemonade stands, and it's just been overwhelming, incredible. And even in the past month alone, you know, there's so many businesses and organizations coming together and pulling through and really raising money for other families with pediatric cancer, just what Nevea wanted. So it's just an incredible movement.
It's interesting because there are a lot of people who try different fundraising, but there's something about this little girl that just seemed to touch people in a profound way. What do you think it was?
She was just very special. We firmly believe, and I talked to Holly about this not long. Her mother, sorry, not long after she passed, about how we felt that she was put here for a reason, and the reason was to help and give back and to teach not just other kids, but adults, everybody. I mean, it's global, it's gone international, what she's done, and we've raised in the past 5 lemonade stands $235,000. And it's just, it was a lot of work, but it was just so easy to help her with her cause because of what she stood for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you guys are busy here tonight, and I appreciate your
hungry.
time. Yes, I'll let you go and eat some food. That's a great. Thank you both very much.
Thank you so much. See you.
Now, this event is going on until 9 o'clock, so if you're in St. John's, there's lots of room outside. I think the inside sold out, and coming up in my next interview here, we're going to meet some members of the family, because as you can imagine, this is a bit overwhelming, and they're very grateful for what's happening. Stay tuned for that.
Coming up on Here and Now.
There are no Caledonia yawls on Conception Bay today, but I'll tell you about one man's plan to change that.
I'm going to put it down in our little marina in the harbor, and I'm going to sail it.
And welcome back to Here and Now. Time now for a look at your weather forecast and some great temperatures today. Having a look at our highs to start, you can see on the island temperatures in the mid-20s for pretty much everywhere. Even Happy Valley Goose Bay got up to 25 degrees. And you know what? We have more warm temperatures coming tomorrow. But first, Labrador has to get through some pretty intense showers moving through tonight. First hitting Labrador City at about 11 o'clock tonight and making its way east. Happy Valley Goose Bay should be hit at around 3 a.m. and then it will move off to the Cartwright area early tomorrow morning. So some pretty intense showers associated with this system and some thunder showers. Happy Valley Goose Bay, Cartwright area looking at about 25 to 40 millimeters of rain from this system. So it's going to come down pretty hard in some areas. Lab City, 15 millimeters of rain and temperatures winds fairly breezy. Southwesterly winds 30 gusting to 50 as well, and cool overnight lows there in Labrador for sure. Different story on the island. Looking at mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight and overnight lows around the upper teens, but some showers moving in for the west coast tomorrow morning. So this is what it's going to look like tomorrow morning. And thank you, Laura Marie, for sending in this beautiful shot of the flower. For St. John's, we're going to start off with a cloudy day, but warm temperatures to start around 18 degrees. Some chance of showers for central areas and looking at some showers for western Newfoundland and northern Newfoundland as well. And a cool start to the day for western Labrador once again. So here you see those morning showers on the west coast. That will make its way east, and central areas and the east could see a little bit of a shower action later on in the afternoon. So this is how the temperatures are looking tomorrow. A humidex of 29 degrees, 24 degrees in St. John's as the high, with a chance of some afternoon showers, but most of the day is looking pretty good. A bit breezy, southwesterly winds 40 gusting to 60. For central areas, the humidex 32. So it's going to be pretty warm there tomorrow, and as well a chance of showers throughout central areas. On the west coast, about 2 to 10 millimeters of rain expected for the Corner Brook, Grosse Morne, Port au Choix area. That should hit around tomorrow morning, and the humidex value at 28. So yeah, it's going to be a warm one there as well. Cool, things really cool down though as we head north in the Straits. A few showers there. Mary's Harbour could see 5 to 10 millimeters of rain. Cartwright fairly cool at 11 degrees, and you can see those temperatures in the mid-teens up along the coast here, but a mainly sunny day coming for Nain and a chance of showers throughout the rest of Labrador. So things will cool down on Thursday. I am sorry to say I will have all those details coming up in a little bit, but first I need to get over to the desk, which fortunately is pretty close to the green screen. All right. Well, when it comes to Newfoundland wooden boats, a dory or a schooner might come to mind, but how about a yawl? Well, there's one being built in Conception Bay right now. Dan Costello lives in Denver, Colorado, but he's making the unusual sailboat at his summer home in Bacon Cove. Here and Now's Mark Quinn has the story.
It's such a beautiful shape.
Here's a wooden boat that's not a punt, a Rodney, or a dory. In fact, it's not even a rowboat.
It's called the Caledonia Yawl. It's 19 feet 6 long and it's 6 foot 4 wide.
Dan Costello has big plans for this small, open sailboat.
I'm going to put it down in our little marina in the harbor, and I'm going to sail it.
This is what the yawl should look like when it's done. Costello is using the same plans that were used to build this one, and he's not rushing into it. Right now, he's 3 years into a 5-year plan to build it.
Got to do the mast, I got to make the sails or have someone make sails. I just wished I could do it all, you know, even if I had to hand sew the sails like the old timers did.
Even though he's putting it together the old-fashioned way, it could be the first time a Caledonia yawl is launched from Bacon Cove. But Costello says boats like this, that were originally used to fish off the coast of Scotland, should do fine here as well.
Oh, yeah. The fellow that drew the prints up, I think he lives in Scotland, so he sails it off the Scottish coast.
If everything goes as planned, Costello hopes to be sailing here on Conception Bay by 2020. He says there's nothing like being on the water in a boat that you've built yourself.
That feels great, as long as it doesn't sink.
Mark Quinn, CBC News,
Bacon Cove.
Beautiful evening here on Elizabeth Avenue for this special night for Nevaeh Denine and her memory, as well as the fundraising efforts to help her family. Obviously, as you know, big story that has shaken and moved a lot of people was her death earlier this month after being such a successful advocate for helping other people, people like her who are also, kids like her who are also battling cancer. Difficult time for her mother who's here tonight, and I spoke to her briefly. She didn't really want to talk to us, but I do have two members of her family, grandfather and uncle, who agreed to come and talk to me. Thank you very much.
How are you?
So you're her grandpa,
Yep.
her poppy.
Yep.
What do you make of a night like this?
Excellent. I must say I really appreciate all the chefs coming out here and all the people showing up here tonight. A beautiful night for it, and we really appreciate it.
Right. And you're the Uncle Davy, but also apparently Uncle Gravy?
Yes, sir. I'm Uncle Gravy, yes, sir.
And how'd you become Uncle Gravy?
That was her nickname for me. I used to make gravy when we'd have a family gathering, so, and of course it rhymes with Davy, so yeah.
Naturally, you'd be Uncle Gravy. Yeah. Now, you're also the caretaker of this wonderful vehicle, right? So maybe I'll step back from the car a little bit so I can take a look at it, and I'll just move over this way. So tell me a bit about this car, how it came to be.
It was donated by a generous man who unfortunately passed away with cancer as well. A bunch of friends of ours helped us sand it down, get it prepped for paint. I painted it. We painted the wheels. Another friend of mine done the decals. Everything was donated. It was very moving, yeah. And
Yeah.
she loved this car, so we're
And
gonna
apparently,
continue.
she chose the color, right?
She did. She said, I asked her what color she wanted to paint her Beetle, and she said, I want it purple. So this is the color we chose. Yeah.
Purple's her color.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you now, Poppy. Obviously, this was kind of a special child, and I mean, you're biased because she was a grandchild, but a lot of people are talking tonight that there was just something about her that she touched so many people's hearts.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, everybody knew her, and you know, and she wanted to do something for the other kids years ago, and started out with a small lemonade stand. Her plan was to have it on the street, and I think about 7,000 people showed up the first time.
Right.
So I mean, it's been, and it's going to keep, it's still going to continue in her honor, regardless. You know, I mean, you know, we're going to take the car, we're going to store it away every winter now, and we're going to put it away, you know, and get it all done, and get it back and get it next year, and hopefully a bigger crowd next year again in her honor. And help other families too. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know for a lot of people watching, of course, they know Nevaeh's story and they've been watching it. But for you, of course, it's personal because you lost your granddaughter. Yep. How are you and your daughter coping with all this?
You know, I mean, you're coping. I mean, I know there's other families that the kids had the same thing. That's after their grandchildren and children after passing away. So we know how they feel. I guess what it is, unless until it actually happens to you, you don't know what it's all about, you know.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time, and I know that you guys are very grateful for the efforts these chefs have made tonight. And
oh my God, yes. I mean, without them, this wouldn't be possible. I mean, you know, I really want to thank them so much.
Right.
You know.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you as well. Thanks.
Yes, thank you very much.
For my brother, and for everybody, because we lose in our community so many people to suicide, and so many people on a daily basis struggle with mental health.
A sister's fight, her efforts to help Happy Valley Goose Bay, coming up. Welcome back to Here and Now. Sergeant Sandy Harvey is the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary's longest-serving female officer. And this week, after 37 years of service, she retires. Here and Now's Peter Cowan sat down with her yesterday to learn about her storied career and the challenges she faced at the start as one of the first women to enter policing.
What made you decide to go into policing 37 years ago?
I'd gone to work in an office, and friends and a relative were joining the police department, and I realized that they were accepting females because they hadn't been before. So I went to their swearing-in ceremony, and sounds a little sappy, but I heard him take the oath without fear or favor and to serve and protect, and I knew that that's what I had to do.
What was it like being one of the first women to join the force?
We were treated very well. We were treated very well by our classmates. They were very supportive. There were, barriers that had to be broken, and there were, places things they didn't know what to do with women.
Like
but, well, in training, we, in the beginning, were wearing coveralls in the academy, going through all the things we did. We were at the Atlantic Police Academy in Charlottetown for it was 21 weeks. So in the beginning, they put us all in coveralls, and after a period of time, they said, okay, well, you've graduated from the coveralls now, we'll put you in uniform, and then you can carry on. So it was a big thing for all of us at that point in time. We were going to be pretty proud to be putting the uniform on. So when they gave out the uniforms, we all went upstairs with our little packages, and the guys all had their pants with the stripes on them and the shirts and all, and they gave us the shirts, but they gave us skirts to wear. We're like, skirts? How are we supposed to do police work in skirts? So we kind of complained about it, and they said, get up over the stairs, you put on the uniform you were given. So sure enough, the next morning, me and 3 other females in my class, and there were 2 from the mainland as well, all came downstairs with our shirts on and our skirts and our police boots with the black socks, and that was not acceptable. Get up over the stairs, we'll get you some uniform pants. So we had to put our coveralls back on for a while. So it's fine tuning. Yes, we were welcomed, but there were details like that they had to work out. And, so we just moved ahead from there.
What was the reaction from the public? Was there resistance sometimes when someone calls for a police officer and you showed up instead of the stereotype they maybe had in their head?
Yeah, there were times, when we were ignored and they would speak to our male partners. But you know what? That just took time too. And people got used to seeing you around, and as long as you did your job, you were fine.
Is there a moment that really stands out from your career in particular?
One particular job, and it's not just one thing that I did, but I'm a crisis negotiator, and I have been for a number of years now. And for me, being able to deal with people when and be given the skills to be able to help people when they're in a real period of crisis, and bring them back. That for me has been it's been great.
What's your reaction when people use terms like trailblazer to talk about you?
I don't even think of it that way. Like, when did 37 years happen? I joined because I wanted to help people. But it's not just all bronze, so you don't need, it doesn't have to be a male or a female thing, and it doesn't have to be a size thing. It's just, believing in right and trying to pursue that, and, just showing respect to people and, helping them out when they need it.
Well, one of the lingering issues surrounding the legalization of marijuana is how to test for people who drive while high. Well, police will soon have another option for that. Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould has given the green light to a new roadside test. The equipment will be used to test a driver's saliva for THC. That's the main mind-altering chemical in cannabis. A recent study in Norway raised questions about the accuracy of that new test. The equipment shouldn't be used in temperatures below 4 degrees Celsius. It will be left to individual police departments to decide what equipment they will use. Yellow seats have been popping up in communities across the country. They're called friendship benches, and they aim to give people a safe space to talk about their issues. A woman in Happy Valley Goose Bay has begun a fundraising campaign to bring the benches to her community. Jacob Barker sat down for a talk about the project.
All right, so this is your yellow bench.
Yes. My parents saw the friendship bench on the news. Like, shortly after my brother passed by suicide, they saw the bench on TV, and my dad painted one for our house to show that, I guess, like, to honor my brother, but then also to show that our house is like a safe space for people. The friendship benches are metal benches that they're suitable for like outside all year long, and On the back of the bench is a barcode that you can scan your phone, and it'll pop up with a list of mental health resources near you. The Front or Bench project also comes with different programming that can be delivered in schools.
You're fundraising, you need a certain amount of money to get these done. So, I mean, how much do you need, and what does that money go towards?
So we need almost $20,000, and what that will, that's the cost for 7 benches for Goose Bay. So instead of just having one bench in our community like many communities across the country have, I think that it would be nice to see friendship benches everywhere around town.
Why a bench?
Like this, we're sitting down, we're having a conversation on the bench. So having something that's bright and yellow and just to catch your eye, and having a space for people actually to sit down and to be conscious about talking about mental health, and to have this as a safe space that people can sit down and talk about what they need to talk about.
Why are you bringing attention to this? Why are you committing so much of your time to causes like this?
We lost my brother to suicide 2 years ago, and since then, after he passed, we've heard like how many people that he's helped. I don't know, just yeah, for my brother and for everybody, because we lose in our community so many people to suicide, and so many people on a daily basis struggle with mental health.
And that's here now's Jacob Barker in Happy Valley Goose Bay. Well, many long-term care facilities face a constant worry about patients who wander off. Usually the solution is to invest in locks, barriers, and medication, but some long-term care facilities in Montreal are taking a different approach: art. Sean Henry explains.
At first glance, this looks like a nicely painted wall, but it doubles as a disguise. What was once a window to a hallway, now a drawing. Same for the doors. Even the elevator. For a floor of residents with Alzheimer's and dementia, it's about more than aesthetics.
So whenever there's an exit door, we put a therapeutic mural, and that is used as a diversion for them. So they divert and they go elsewhere.
The visual diversion is the solution to dealing with residents who may get anxious or agitated if they try to leave without resorting to medication.
What they do is they want to leave the unit, they want to go look for their family, they want to go look for their children, they want to look for their pets.
And although we can see the doorknob or the handle, it isn't obvious to the resident. There's no risk of them seeing the door?
No, because they won't notice, they'll just notice the therapeutic mural.
The designs for the murals are deliberate.
It's different paintings with different objects. Basically, there's flower pots, there could be a grocery store, there could be a library with bookshelves, and it reminds them of their past.
Staff at the long-term care facilities say they do have safety measures in place in case residents do leave, but the aim of the murals is to take away the idea altogether. Sean Henry, CBC News, Montreal.
Oh, a bit of fine wine for a fine cause here at the Peter Wedgwood Cafe, a pop-up dinner for Nivea Denine. We'll talk to the organizers about why they decided to pull off this event. I'm not allowed to drink this.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Time now for a look at your long-range forecast and the upcoming departure of the cool temperatures, at least for a little bit. Going to start with another look at this evening, because we do have this system that's going to bring a lot of rain to parts of Labrador tonight. Here's a nice close-up look of how the system is going to play out. At around 11 o'clock, Lab City will be getting hit pretty hard by that rainfall. And then at around 3 a.m., Happy Valley Goose Bay is going to get a real good dose. And then Cartwright as the system starts to move off. So once again, just to recap, thunder showers for the Cartwright and Happy Valley Goose Bay area possible for tonight. 25 to 40 millimeters of rain possible in the heaviest of showers, so it could come down pretty hard. 15 millimeters expected for Lab City, and on the island there, overnight lows looking fairly warm, mid to upper teens. So tomorrow we're looking at the system push off. A few lingering showers for the eastern portion of the island in the afternoon, but overall things are looking really nice. Another hot day on the island. Temperatures in the low to mid 20s, but the Humidex value is going to make it feel much warmer than that. Chance of showers for most areas there tomorrow. Cartwright looking at some morning showers clearing in the afternoon, as well as Happy Valley Goose Bay with a high of 16 degrees tomorrow. So this is where things start to change. Wednesday night into Thursday, along with this system right in behind it, the wind direction is going to start to change. You can see this northerly wind coming down, and that is what's going to cool everything down on the island. So lots of showers expected for the northern peninsula and the west coast and the south coast there as well. And yeah, so things are looking fairly cool, going down to 14 degrees in the east and west, 13 in central areas with some rain there and a chance of showers in the east. Cool temperatures as well for Labrador, periods of rain for the east, 11 degrees in western Labrador with a chance of showers. So the Avalon Peninsula probably won't see that rain really until Friday morning, and then things should start to warm up a little bit more. We're looking at 18 degrees in the east on Friday afternoon, still fairly cool in central areas is 12 degrees, 16 degrees there in the west, and in Labrador, not too bad on Friday afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud and temperatures nearing 20 degrees. And the weekend, of course, this is the long weekend, right? So everyone wants to know how it's going to look. So far, so good. Saturday and Sunday in the east, comfortable temperatures, a little bit on the cool side, 16 degrees on Saturday, 20 on Sunday, so certainly not a scorcher. Looking much nicer though for Saturday and Sunday in central areas, in the mid-20s there on Sunday, and as well for western Newfoundland. And for Labrador, not a bad weekend there. Pretty much everyone is in for a good weekend so far. Chance of showers there for Sunday in western Labrador. Okay, now let's go back one more time to check in with Anthony at the pop-up supper that's taking place to support the family of Nevaeh Denine. Anthony, how are things down there now?
You want to make a leg?
Wonderful, Carolyn. I wish this was smell-o-vision so you could actually get a sense of how fantastic it smells here. I'm where the action is, inside the kitchen at the Wedgwood Cafe with Peter Wedgwood and Jonathan Richler. So maybe first, Peter, what was the idea behind this?
Nevaeh did so much to help so many people that we just wanted to rally around, get the chefing community involved, and help out our family the best way we know how, by cooking.
And obviously, we spoke to some of her family members before. You managed to get quite a few chefs, including this fine gentleman. Jonathan, why did you want to be part of this?
I just tell you what, there's a Hebrew philosophy called tikkun olam. You have to leave the world a little bit better than when you entered it. And that is the inspiration that Nevaeh told all of us, even if she never met us. I never spoke to this young girl. I spoke to her parents along the way, but her inspiration was visceral. So it was a no-brainer for me and everybody here to just jump in and help what she did. So the obvious element for all of us was lemons.
Lemons?
Lemons. So for me,
what'd you make?
I made very salty lemons. I have some salt preserved lemons with Moroccan lamb and a couscous, lots of dried fruits and nuts, North Africa all the way. But we've got some lovely chicken wings with a lemon brine. We've got some Mediterranean cod with lemons on the base. Everybody, the desserts, of course, are all citrus. So, listen, she set an example. All we can do is follow a 9-year-old. And not even, because she started when she was, what, 4, Peter?
That's right. Yeah, 4 years old. Yeah. So she just set an incredible example. We can all learn from a 9-year-old, and if we just do a little bit better every day, we're doing right by her.
And I gather, Peter, you didn't have a hard time actually getting chefs and cooks to be part of this, because I see the place is packed.
Not at all. So I actually invited a couple of these guys, and they started talking to each other, and next thing you know, my phone was blowing up, like, I want to be involved, what can I do? And so I said, okay, boys, let's get on board. We're going to, regulators mount up, we're going to ride tonight. And so all these guys, I said, boys, I'm not going to tell you what to make. You tell me what you're making. They all brought it to the forefront, lemon inspired, and it's just unbelievable.
Now, one of the most touching moments tonight that I saw, Peter, was you came in, and then Nevaeh's mother came in, and you gave her a really big hug.
Oh, Holly, yes. I can't hug her enough. I can't give her a big enough hug. Such a lovely, lovely lady, and everything that they went through, and she personally's gone through, the light of her life, it's just, if you can't get behind something like this, there's something wrong with you.
All right, well, gentlemen, I'll let you guys get back to cooking. A lot more customers out there. Thank you both very much.
Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Real pleasure. Thank you.
So if you're in the St. John's area, this is continuing until 9 o'clock Island time. It smells fantastic. I'm certainly planning on sticking around, if you know what I mean. Carolyn.
Thanks so much, Anthony. A wonderful event for a great cause. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, a new business owner in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, is cutting out a place for himself by giving back and paying forward. The barber is going beyond the usual shave and haircut in an effort to be a positive influence on some of the most troubled in the city. Madeline Coetzer has this story.
Laughable bravado. Look it up in the dictionary. You're going to see me go like this.
Jason Gauthier has a lot of energy. He's bursting with it.
Hey, guys.
His friends call him Jay. He set up shop here in Moose Jaw a few weeks ago. There's a steady stream of clients the day we visit. Mo sits smiling as Jay cracks jokes to Facebook Live viewers, both on and off cam. His enthusiasm is contagious. He calls it JDHD, and he's open about the fact that he lives with ADHD and anxiety. He's also open about his past. He remembers what it was like to be homeless, to be an addict, to be a convict. And he remembers the difference the kindness of others made when he was at his lowest, whether it was $5 to buy food or some kind words.
Just little acts of kindness. Someone believed in me, and it just takes one person sometimes to believe in you, and that's it.
Because of this, he knew he wanted to give back. Recently, he went through some hard times and decided to channel his energy for good. For him, that meant doing what he does best, cutting hair, for people who are homeless, like he once was.
So I'm cutting this old man's hair, and he had a beard, and I'm on my hands and knees, and I'm carving his beard in, and he looks in the mirror. He's like, I asked him what he'd been doing that day. He said I was picking cans, and I was going to go to the drop-in center for soup. I said, you can eat here, man. And he digs in his pocket, and he pulls out a toonie. I was like, hey, no. He goes, you're a good barber. And he throws it in my thing, and that's when I cried.
He's been cutting hair for homeless people since then. His shop in Moose Jaw is just around the corner from the city's Riverside Mission. That's where he met Mark Kelly, a former drug dealer who was trying to put his life back together.
A lot of the people down there are hurting. They don't have a lot. They don't have anything, and they look pretty rough. And when you can take a guy that, looks pretty rough and clean him up a little bit, who knows what that's going to do for him the next day.
Gauthier's work is creating connections, too. From people who are homeless to the mayor. People sit in Jay's chair for a good cut and good company. And the positivity is creating waves.
It's not always governments coming up with solutions. As you can see, Jason's come in here and said, there's a need, and I want to do some good work. And he's taken his talents and being able to fill that void. And I think that's an important role.
Gauthier has dreams of eradicating homelessness in Moose Jaw through tiny homes and expanding his outreach. But for now, the change he's creating starts in his barber's chair. Madeline Coetzer, CBC News, Moose Jaw.
Here's a look at today's viewer photo of the day. Beautiful, isn't it? If the sky looks a bit hazy, that's because it was. This was taken on Saturday somewhere in the province. And on Saturday, the smoke from the BC wildfires was having a bit of an effect on the atmosphere. I'll let you know where in the province this photo was taken after the break. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, imagine this slowing your morning drive to work. That's pretty slow and was probably slowing down a few people as they were heading to work, particularly parents dropping their kids off at a daycare center earlier this morning in Pooch Cove. That dog doesn't sound too happy about it either. The owner, they are having a real conversation. And somewhere in there, the owner is actually calling out to the cows. He's driving down the road ahead, trying to lead them away from the main highway. But yeah, pretty hard to rush a herd of cows. They are definitely in no hurry. Imagine looking out your window and seeing that in the morning. Well, have a look at our viewer photo of the day. Just love this one. And as I mentioned before the break, it was quite hazy on the weekend. A lot of people talking about that. And this photo was taken on the Burin Peninsula, Burin Bay Arms. So yeah, the person who sent that in, Jason Edwards, was talking about how hazy the sky was because of the smoke from the BC wildfires. And that was certainly the case over the weekend. Things are clearing away though now. And if you have a picture of the day that you would like to see on the news or even on our website, because we do post a lot of them there in our viewer gallery, you can just email your photo to nlphotos@cbc.ca. And that's it for us tonight. Anthony Germain will be back here in the studio tomorrow evening. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and have a great night.